So basically, DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid. So it also the process of the expression of the gene, that means translation or transcription. There is changes in the DNA happen. Okay, or else case, by the method of mutation or any other natural or artificial mutation, the process of changes in DNA happen. Okay, so that's why the cell itself has a mechanism of a DNA repair, because if we are going to take this that's why we need to take this point in our presentation. Then what is a DNA repair actually means? DNA repair is a collection of process by which the cell identifies and correct damage to the DNA molecule that is encode its gene. Okay, it is a process of a cell identify and correct the damage to the DNA. Okay, so that is the basic things you should know about the DNA repair. Okay? Firstly, how the cell or how the DNA get damaged. Firstly, we need to understand that by many mutations or many sources by which a DNA get damaged. Okay, so what happen actually when the DNA get damaged, okay, inside a cell? So there are some factors which when the normal repairs process fail and when the cellular apoptosis doesn't occur, irreparable DNA damage may occur. Okay, so there are some means changes in the inside the DNA. Okay, that means in the chemical bonding or any other structural or chemical changes may happen. So due to which the DNA get breakdown, or what we can say, it may get damaged by different kinds of mutations and other physical or chemical factors. Okay? So it depends on the many factors, that is the cell type, age of the cell, and extracellular environment. Okay? So these are the factors that responsible for the DNA repair or rate of DNA repair. Okay, as I said earlier, that DNA damage is generally chemical and physical changes occurs inside the DNA. Okay, so what are the sources of DNA damage? So firstly, the endogenous source damage and then exogenous damage. Okay? So in that, firstly, what is the endogenous and what is the exogenous? Endogenous is nothing but it's happen. The source is in itself. That means it is in the cell itself. Okay, सेल मध्येच तो डीएनए डॅमेजचा सोर्स असतो. ओके, तर त्यामध्ये काय काय असतं मेनली reactive oxygen species, that is ROS, which is produced by normal metabolic byproducts. That means it is a spontaneous mutation. Okay, why? Because it does not have any reason or artificial mutations. Okay, so that's why this ROS, that is reactive oxygen species, that produced by the cell itself in the time of any stress condition. Okay, in the time of any osmotic stress or any other stresses, in that condition the cell produces ROS. Okay, which going to damage the DNA itself. Okay, then after it has exogenous damage, which is caused by the external agents such as UV light. Okay, so UV light is one of the important physical mutation which causes the DNA damage. Okay, then after the X-rays and gamma rays are also one of them. So those are causing the exogenous damage to the DNA. Okay, there are also some certain plant toxins, viruses, which are causing the uh, mismatch, or what we can say alternation of the DNA sequence. Okay, remove the DNA. That's why this damage is nothing but the changes in the base pair of DNA. Okay, it may uh, it may break down the sequence, or it may break down the DNA sequence or whatever it could, but it is generally disturbing the proper uh, what we can say original DNA sequence. Okay, so that's the main thing or main concern of it, that it is distorting the proper sequence of DNA. Okay, which is going to function after the expression of that gene. Okay, that's the main concern about this DNA damage, that it is going to disturb the proper functioning of that cell. Okay, so there are some causes of DNA damage mainly. So as I said earlier, the significant consequence of oxidative stress in the body is to thought to be DNA damage the DNA. Okay, so what happens inside the cell when the oxidative stress? What is oxidative stress? It's nothing but a stress which is produced by what we can say that in the terms of free oxygen radical that is going to produce inside the cell. Okay, some external stresses are there, so those are causing the production of free oxygen radical, which are unstable and which is going to damage the any other chemical structure. Okay, but it mainly when it damage to the DNA cell, it is going to be deteriorate the cell function. Okay, because the DNA is a what we can say a coding region of your cell. Okay, so that's why when it damage to the DNA, this oxidative radicals, okay, or which is produced by oxidative stress, it is going to damage the DNA ultimately. So this is a very long process uh, in which the oxidative stress may cause due to the drought or salinity, okay, in the crops. The human also it is caused due to some changes in this environment, okay, or after entering the viruses also it may cause. Okay, so those are the oxidative stress which are produced by different environmental or any other causes. Right? Then after this DNA may move in number of ways, which can ultimately lead to the mutation and genomic instability. Okay, that's how the process of or the DNA damage happen inside the cell. Right, then we need to understand what are the types of DNA damage. In that, first one is oxidative damage, second one is a hydrolytic damage, third one is the DNA strand breaks. Okay, then by which methods or by which causes this happen? The first one is a physical cause, that is radiation. Okay, the by radiation means uh, those radiating means X-ray and UV rays are the important role, which has an important role in the DNA damage. Okay, it may be in the different forms, that is alpha, beta, gamma. Those are the radioisotopes which are producing this radiation. Okay, which are what means ionizing the cell itself. Okay, so those are having deleterious effects on the cell also. It's going to damage the DNA ultimately. By the method of hydrolysis, it means the covalent structure of the DNA is unstable because it generally has the what is called we call it that hydrogen bonding inside, and then after it has a phosphodiester backbone which is protecting from the hydrolysis or effect of the hydrolysis. But when the cell when it is going to hydrolyze, okay, hydrolyze means dissolving inside the water. So then after it will has different kinds of what we can say that it has a different kind of consequence on the cells. Okay, so after the hydrolyzing, it may causes the DNA damage. Okay, okay. Then what happened that the phosphodiester bond and the N-glycosidic bond inside the DNA is going to cleave down. Okay, so the cleavage happen then due to the hydrolysis. So that's how the DNA get damaged. Okay, here you can see that the process happen in also two step, mainly a depurination and the deamination. Okay, so what is the depurination? It is a removal of purine base. Okay, so here you can see that in the structure of DNA, that is one is the nitrogen base. It may be purine and pyrimidine. So those are get changed. Okay, those are get removed in the process of hydrolysis. This called as a depurination. And after second one is the deamination. That is the removal of the amine group from the nitrogen base. Okay, so from the cytosine, the amine is removed. Okay, and it's converted to the uracil. Okay, cytosine and uracil are the pyrimidines. Okay, but when the amine groups get removed, it called as a deamination. So these are the basic. Okay, you should know. And the depurination, the purine is get removed. Okay, so in the process you can see here that the missing base is here. Okay, it has only a phosphodiester bonding in phosphorus and glycosidic or what ribose sugar is only there. Okay, the purine is getting removed. The third one is by oxidation. So we see it earlier. Okay, so what happened inside that? The oxidation of guanine generates the oxo G. Okay, it's highly mutagenic because it has a base pair with the A as well as with the C. Okay, then the atomic configuration get changed because the what we can say complementary uh, the purine also get uh, complementary stand formation with the pyrimidines also. Okay, so when A is binding to the T or G is binding to the C, but after the oxidation, it may get changed. Okay, so the purine may get bind to the purine itself also. Okay, so there this kind of changes happen inside the oxidation process. So the cellular DNA is damaged by oxygen free radicals generated during the cellular respiration. So here you can see that the oxidative damage which may cause DNA damage also, and then protein and lipid. So all those biomolecules get disturbed by this oxidative damage. Then after this aging is happen. Okay, so the cell get dead or kill itself. Okay, so then this point is very important. What is the mechanism of DNA repair? Okay, okay, what happened inside the DNA repair mechanism? There is two mechanisms. Okay, first one is the direct reversal repair. Okay, the second one is excision repair. Third one is a nucleotide excision repair. In the excision, base excision repair. Second one is nucleotide excision repair. Third one is a mismatch repair. Then after the recombination method. Okay, recombinant repair. Okay, the first one is a direct reversal. It means without any complex process, the DNA damage is going to reverse. Okay, but most of the cases DNA damage are not reversible. Okay, then what is the mechanism of DNA damage? In that, firstly, damage area is repaired directly by specialized protein in our body. Okay, is it a simplet form? Okay, here you can see that 3-methyl cytosine is getting converted to the cytosine itself. Okay, so when the mutation happen or any changes happen, the cytosine is converted to the 3-methyl cytosine. But in some cases, this mutation is again get converted to the cytosine in the cell itself. Okay, there is no requirement of any other artificial mutation. Okay. Okay, in the excision repair, excision repair. Okay. There are some types of excision repair. In that, firstly, the base excision repair, nucleotide excision repair, mismatch repair, double stranded break repair, and then recombinant repair. What is the excision repair? The excision repair is nothing but damaged DNA is firstly excised, which means it is removed from the damaged DNA. Okay. Then after this base pair is replaced with a fresh DNA. Okay. So this is important mechanism. Okay. So first one is the base excision. That means a single base pair or some base pair are removed. Okay. Only. It is mainly catalyzed by the enzymes, different enzymes. So we will see the mechanism of this base excision. In that, firstly, we have this DNA glycosylase. Okay, the process begin with this enzyme. That is a DNA glycosylase. Okay, what does this enzyme work do? Okay, we will see directly by this diagram. Okay, here you can see that this DNA having a DNA glycosylase. Okay, enzyme which recognize this damaged base pair of DNA. Okay, which you can see here in the red color. Okay, So is it visible that you can see this? The first in the first step, you can see here that this red color base is there, okay, which is getting damaged, okay. Then this DNA glycosylase is enzyme, okay. What is the role of this DNA glycosylase? It removes the damaged nitrogen base only, okay. What it does, it removes the damaged DNA, sorry, nitrogen base only, okay. So from the DNA, it removes the damaged nitrogen base. That means the purine and pyrimidine, that is ATGC, okay. So it will remove that ATGC only firstly, okay. Then after the process, which the process leads to the hanging down of that base pair from the DNA, okay. That means the bonding, or what we can say, the hydrogen bonds is removed. That's why the DNA base pair is hanged out, okay. Then after this AP endonucleases is enzyme acts there, okay, which recognize this apurinated site. AP means apurinated site, okay. It means it recognize the apurinated site. That means the site without a purine molecule, okay, nitrogen base. And then it cuts the DNA on the 3' side of the AP site, okay. What it does, it cuts the DNA at a 5' side, okay. So what is a 5' side? It contains a phosphodiester bonding, okay. So that's why the breakdown in the phosphodiester bonding, which after that this DNA phosphodiester is act there, okay. So that means it breaking down the backbone of the DNA, okay. So here you can see that in the third or fourth step, there is a breakdown, that is gap between the diester bonding, okay. So that's why there is a gap between this diester bonding. Then after this DNA phosphodiester is acts there, okay. So what it does, it removes the AP deoxyribose phosphate, okay. So that means AP, that is apurinated deoxyribose phosphate, okay. Why phosphate? Because it removes the diphosphate, that is the phosphate bonding, okay. So that's how the damaged DNA base pair is removed from that, okay, DNA or damaged DNA, okay. Then after this DNA polymerase come here, then the fresh nucleotide is added there, okay. Then the polymerase enzyme synthesize, or what we can say, it joining the base pair at the point, okay. So then after this DNA ligase enzyme, it is joining the any gap which may be found there, okay. So this is the whole method of DNA or base excision, okay. So anyone has any doubt regarding this? Okay, this is a very complex method in which different enzymes and all they will use, okay. Okay, so this process of nucleotide excision is mainly dealing with the bulk nature of nucleotide, okay. Then after it is going to remove the nucleotide by using the exonuclease. Then after this mismatch repair, okay,